I'm running out of drinks. Haha. No, today, thanks for tuning in again. Today's day 17 of the 30 Days of Silent Hill Challenge. Your favorite death scene. I'm going to pick Maria's first death scene from Silent Hill 2. Now, I've already talked about that. Possibly, I forget which day it was, but it was in the scene that made me angry, which would be day 7, or it was one of the early days. Let's suffice to say that. But I think it's my favorite death scene because it's the scene where Pyramid. I mean, honestly, before like I said earlier, but to rehash the same thing again. Um, in real time, Pyramid Head is chasing you as James Sunderland and Maria down the hallway. The scene starts up where you run into the elevator. You're trying to open it up, and as you're looking through the crack while opening it up, Maria gets pretty much killed and owned by, of course, Pyramid Head, who was chasing you. Now, the reason that might be my favorite death scene is because it was one that, even though I knew it was coming up when I first played, because I read ahead a little bit of Silent Hill 2 to know what was happening next in like the 2 hours I would play at a time. But so I knew that was happening. However, it puts it above deaths such as, like, let's say Harry Mason's from Silent Hill 3, or depending on your choices, Sybil's from Silent Hill 1, because it was basically just a raw expression of the power that Pyramid Head can possess. The reason it was in the game was to make you fear this creature because, oh my god, he just killed your companion without remorse, etc. But, yeah, it might, because it wasn't one of the reason also is because it wasn't one of those real serious death scenes, and that we see her killed multiple times more throughout the game. The final being, of course, whether you fight her as a boss or whether you see the two Pyramid Heads destroy her and, do their thing, which was killing things, obviously, with her. But yeah, that's the reason why it's my favorite. It's because it's one that you can kind of take as almost like a sleight of hand, because, like, she'll be back if you read ahead. If you don't, though, it's one that hits you like, oh my god, my companion's already dead. I must have fucked up and done something wrong, and you're kind of blaming yourself for it almost. As I said in those games earlier, I'd like to save people if I can, but it's one of those where it's very hard to. So it just makes it just makes you reconsider your whole system of what you're doing in the game and whether or not you're playing to the top of your potential. On the first playthrough, of course. On subsequent playthroughs, like I was saying, it gets easier on your system, but I don't know, it's still one of my favorites in that it's Pyramid Head, so I'm a big fan of Pyramid Head as a character, obviously. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game, as I mentioned earlier, I'm sure, but that's the one that you want to look out for. But every Maria death scene in Silent Hill 2 is pretty good, as is the death scenes of other characters such as Eddie and Mary herself, depending on your ending. But that's my favorite death scene. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.